Alright, so to keep this video short and simple, I'm going to quickly go through some of the commands involved with subdivision modeling, placing objects and changing their vertical and around faces, and then making a quick model of a steering wheel at the end to show you guys this sort of type of modeling in action. So here in the panel you have your subdivision tools. Towards the end of the panel, let's say we want to place a cylinder. Before we place that cylinder, depending on what you want to create, you're going to want to change the vertical and around faces. So right now I have them set at 8 and 10, and this is the output you get. These are the vertical faces, and these above and at the bottom are your around faces. So let's say we want to change those values. Let's make them both 10. So we're going to go to change the vertical faces to 10, keep the around faces at 10. We can place that cylinder down. We can, again, like in any poly surface that you're about to place, any curve you're about to place, you can change its dimensions in Rhino. Let's make this 20. And let's make the height, or the end of the cylinder, 40. And so here we have this customized sort of subdivision object. Now the next popular command for subdivision is bridging. If you're new to Rhino, what I did just there was I select a face, I select my object, I hold Alt and click either of the gumball arrows to copy, to sort of make a copy of the object. So the bridging command for subdivision, you're going to type in bridge, and the main thing to note here is that whenever you're selecting objects to bridge, you want to make sure you have the same amount of faces selected between the two objects. They don't have to be in the same location. Typically they want to be, in a realistic facing location, but they don't have to be on the same exact ones, but they do have to be the same quantity. So we have here the first step of the command is to select the first set of edges or faces from the first object. So right now I have a 2x2 selected. Spacebar. Now you can select the next set of faces. Let's go. We can go like something down here, and then we have that bridge. We have selected that this sort of generated form here, we have it being joined. So these two objects are now joined. The crease is going to, pretty self-explanatory, create a crease here within the object. And then straightness is also, sort of changing that organic look of this new form. And then these segments are also important. If you're planning on creating more objects based off of your bridge, you're going to want to possibly increase those connections. If you want, a smaller sort of connection, right? Like there we had a 2x2 selected. This is what it looks like when you just have one face selected. You're going to get a much smaller sort of bridge connection, something like that. Right? Now these objects are joined. And we can also play with this a little bit and continue to make more connections, something like that. Now you can see when I select multiple faces on one, but only one on the other, it's not going to let you do that command until you actually line up those faces to the same quantity on each side. So to sort of show you guys what a final object looks like, right, depending on what you call final, this is a steering wheel. Sort of go through the workflow of that. Place down a torus, sort of just for an example, nothing too serious here. Have this be that center portion of the wheel. Typing in bridge. And there you go. So one thing to note in Rhino is that when you do make a Boolean split here, when you cut through this object, that subdivision is going to turn into a polysurface. It's going to sort of take away the abilities of that were once existing for a subdivision object. As you can see here, all those polysurface lines popped up. We've got this super detailed object now, and you can no longer make those movements that you used to be able to make. You know, they're a bit more, they're rougher, it's not subdivision anymore.